Well, good morning, good afternoon at this point. The human brain has always been a subject of great fascination. Since the 1920s, when we first started studying human EEG, which is essentially the process of observing brainwaves or changes in electrical fluctuations that can be measured at the surface of the scalp, which result from neurons firing, we have dreamed and imagined of a time when it might be possible for us to control and influence our environment simply with our minds. This was an area that captivated the imagination of our team at Emotive. You know, we were inspired by the idea and the possibility of introducing total communication to the way in which we interact with the
and this bottle will be produced only 2 or 3 times a decade.
A second principle that we can talk about is the principle of scarcity. The idea that things that are rare, that are scarce, that are diminishing in their availability to us are more attractive. We want them more. As a consequence, many merchandisers will use strategies in which they'll give us time deadlines or availability limits on a product they want to sell, and because we can't have it after a certain time, we want it more and we go out and buy it. Another principle we can talk about is the principle of authority. This is the idea that we're much more willing to follow the lead of someone who is a legitimately constituted expert or an authority.
It's reinforced for me and me. Hey, maybe it was made for both of us. Must be magic. Now that's who this shoe was made for.
Another principle we can talk about is the principle of commitment. The idea that once we've made a stand, once we've taken a position on an issue, we're much more willing to say yes to any request that is consistent with that commitment. So very often individuals will try to get us to make a small commitment that is consistent with the direction they want us to go. For example, a study was done in Toronto that showed if you can get people to agree to wear a little lapel pin that says "Support Your United Way," 2 weeks later they will be twice as likely to give a donation to the United Way when the solicitors come and canvass them. Another principle.
the Chitahuri fatten on the energy that we human beings give them. They make us to fight each other. And when the whole land is drowning in death and fear and terror, when hundreds and hundreds of people are angry and afraid, the Chitahuri get fed because they eat what we call the dark power, which is brought about when human beings destroy the planet on which they live. Yes, sir. Very, very intense human emotion. We are told, for example, that if you see a Chitahuri walking through the bush or just standing there and looking at you, and you are accompanied by your wife or your girlfriend, you must immediately make love to that girlfriend and release as much emotion as possible, and the Chitahuri will be pleased and will walk away from you and not harm you. And another thing, sir, we are told that the Chitahuri eat energy which is generated when hundreds of human minds or one human mind starts thinking at certain levels. We are told that the Chitahuri want us to think at certain levels.
Certain wavelengths?
Yes, sir. And they... Sir, I have seen the Chitahuri. I have smelt them. I've had personal experience of these. And there are people who claim that these creatures are gods. There are people, sir, who claim that these creatures are experimenting on us. That is a lot of rubbish. These creatures are harvesting us. These creatures are not aliens, Mr. Ike. These creatures are sexually compatible with our women.
And